Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. All right, disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this program here are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. All right, so first one I want to talk about is Williams-Sonoma. Now, if you don't know, the Fed raised 25 basis points today. 25 basis points, 0.25%. So they're sitting at about the Fed funds rate, short-term rates at about 5 to 5.25%. If you're in the market, trading especially, I would definitely pay attention to what the Fed is doing. I would read some articles on what the Fed is if you don't know. Read some articles just based on what the Fed does, what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring down inflation right now. One of the only means they have to do that is by raising interest rates, which is technically bad for stocks. Higher interest rates usually leads to lower stock prices, but we did have a hell of a correction last year. Kind of put that aside because that's kind of a little bit of a macro view, but especially if you're a short-term trader, I would definitely be paying attention and watching what the Fed is doing, watching the press conference, all that. The Fed is super important to the markets, even if you're a long-term investor, which I am, long-term investor and also an extremely tactical short-term trader. I definitely pay attention to the Fed. So let's talk about Williams-Sonoma here. We're looking at these June 100 strike puts. So puts, we want the stock to go lower here. If we're long these, if we're buying these, you can see here there's about 7,300 contracts that we're trading. I took a look at the time and sales, did some research. I saw most, if not most of these were buys. There were some institutional traders coming in, getting 2,000 to 3,000 of these contracts at a time. You can see here, open interest of only 54. So I like to see, like I always say, that high volume, low open interest, because if people are coming in and buying these in sizes less than 54, which they're coming in 3,000 contracts. If they're coming in buying less than 54, we know with 90 to 95% certainty that they were buy to open orders. So I like this trade. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. One reason I'm a little hesitant to get in this stock here is because it's bouncing around at this support level of about 115 and change here. I'm a little hesitant to step in and just outright short this stock here when it's at support. Support means just when a stock approaches the level on a chart, it usually tends to bounce. It's support. We can kind of draw a line here. It looks like there's even greater support down around this 110 level, which it might get to. I'm just not sure if I want to take the risk and jump in here, especially because it's a high-quality stock. They have a good dividend, I think around 3 to 4%. If this stock keeps declining, that dividend obviously will get higher, 3, 4, 4, 5% dividend. And with a high-quality company like this, a high dividend like that will kind of put a floor underneath the stock, and that might be kind of what you see with this support here. This stock does have a high dividend. It's a high-quality company, high-quality CEO. I think the CEO is doing a great job running the company here, and it's also a cheap stock. I think it trades around 10 to 13 times earnings, something like that, depending on what earnings estimates you're using. So I'm a little skeptical to get in here, but, I'm just giving you my thought process here. I'm going to watch this one over the next couple of days here. If we can maybe short this stock or get a put around this 120 level here, that might be a little bit better of an entry than around 115. You see these institutional traders coming in and buying all these options, buying puts or calls or whatever. Normally, if you wait, a day or two, sometimes you can get in at a better price they do, at a better price they get in, at a lower price that they get in, which I love when that happens. It can mean they're a little wrong in the beginning, but I like to get in cheaper than they do because these people have a lot of money sometimes and they could give a crap what they pay for an option. So that's just my opinion about Williams-Sonoma and kind of how I'm thinking about this trade. I'm going to put it on the list. I'm going to watch it here. Watch it for the next few days. See if I can get in at a higher price. One thing to also note, they have earnings on 524 before market open. So that is definitely something to watch here. This might be one worth holding through earnings. But if I were to buy it tomorrow and I get a good profit, that day, even the next day or, a week later, I would definitely be taking it off the table. Like I said, it's a volatile market. You got to take profits when you can because the Fed is in the market and that makes it that much more volatile. Also, we got a lot of stuff going on. So it's definitely a tough market to trade. That is for sure. So, next one I want to talk about is, if this thing would load, Tesla. So, I have a stock position in Tesla here, but there was a ton of, now this is not unusual to see this. Tesla is probably in the top 5 of the greatest number of options traded on any stock in a given day. It's up there with Apple. There's Tesla up there. So it's not unusual to see a ton of these options trading here, but there was some nice orders here in the time and sales here. You can see it was a pretty hideous day in the market here, and Tesla was actually positive. So that is definitely something that I look for. It looks like it's actually up $1. Yeah, it's about up $1 after hours. So this is one that I would not be chasing tomorrow morning. I probably should have gotten in this one today. Like I said, I have a stock position in this one though, so I am trying to be more patient with this one. But normally Tesla, especially shorter dated calls, sometimes you can't really wait. Like how I was saying with Williams Sonoma, that's a little bit of a longer dated trade, so you can kind of wait, see if you can get it at a better price. But with sometimes these shorter dated options, calls or puts, sometimes if you see action that you like, you kind of just got to jump into it. So if we take a look at the chart here, it's been a pretty hideous couple of days in the market here. You can see that Tesla actually is holding its ground here, and NXP Semiconductors, they are heavily in auto chips. They had a good report. Tesla was actually up quite a bit yesterday, even though the market was trending down and was a pretty hideous day, although we did come back towards the end of the day in the overall market. Tesla has actually been hanging in there. It looks like we're finding some extreme short-term support here at this 160 level. I'm long the stock at about 165. So I'm looking for a move. I'm exactly not sure where I'm looking for a move, but if I get a nice gain in the stock, I'm going to take it off because, as you can see here, obviously Tesla long term, I like it long term for sure. But we are in a serious downtrend here. Unless we see start to break above some of these moving averages and sustain here, especially above this 200-day moving average. I'm not sure Tesla's going to be off to the races like how it was back in 2020 and 2021. This is definitely one I'm keeping my eye on. Like I said, I have a stock position in this one, so I'm not racing out and trying to leverage up on some calls as well because I have a stock position. That's kind of how I like to play it. But want to let you guys know there was some activity in Tesla. This is definitely one that I am keeping my eye on. So, thanks for everyone who's been liking the videos. Make sure to subscribe if you want. It'd be much appreciated. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you got any questions. Also, make sure to leave some video requests down in the comments below. I will definitely make sure to get to those. We'll see you in the next one.